Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
It's the first episode since the reunion of all reunions. Joe wasn't there, unfortunately, but Jay went to Fenway Park. Dallas was there with the Oakland A's, who are a team. They are a team. No one is going to take that away from them. Major League Baseball team, they are on the website. Jay was your first time.
Just two last-place teams playing baseball. That's all.
Red Sox are actually a game back of the New York Yankees going into the break, who just hired Sean Casey to be their hitting coach.
That's right. Nope. That a baby Case. That a baby.
That's going to fix it. That's going to fix it. Yeah. That's going to fix it.
Hey,
it's not Aaron Judge. It's not Aaron Judge being hurt. It's the hitting coach. Get that guy the fuck out of here. Fire that man.
Why do the Yankees even continue to play baseball when Aaron Judge isn't available to play baseball? Because it's almost like
I don't know, dude.
It's almost like they're okay with everybody knowing that Aaron Judge is carrying the bulk. He's doing the most. They're okay with that. It feels like right.
Well,
so it's like, why don't you just rest him until he's back, which could be a couple.
Why don't you just forfeit every game? Because then you're running the risk of other players getting hurt.
Which just happened. Josh Donaldson, bringer of calf pain, done again.
Oh, holy shit, dude.
Shots fired.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You know that's not his real nickname.
I know. That's what I thought of a couple years ago, but I just remembered it, and it's a good one.
You're just flushing it out now. You sitting on these things for a couple years at a time. What's the protocol here, Joe?
I don't know, but he's had calf issues in the past, so might as well just reuse him. Hope he's back soon. Bro is hitting mad bombs. How about that stat? How many hits does he have? 14 and 9 homers or something crazy?
9 of them, yeah.
It's insane.
Just make him count, bro. Make him count.
Why are you calling him out like that?
I didn't call him out, dude. You know me and him. Me and JD. We got that relationship. We roast each other.
You guys are tight.
Boys like to roast each other. I don't know about you.
You guys have the same relationship that Tommy Pham and Jock Peterson have.
I mean, yeah, I beat his ass a couple times. I've threatened to beat his ass. I would say that to Josh Johnson's face. I said, I'll beat you up.
The Yankees, since Aaron Judge last played a baseball game, are 14-17, which is much better than I would have guessed, to be honest with you.
The Yankees are not doing. They're not doing much by the way of offense as of late.
No. What do you think they're? What unit of measurement would you like me to use? Like when you talk about hitting, I guess you can say batting average.
Jared,
the Yankees, all right,
they're 13th in the. They're 13th in the league.
No.
Out of
no.
In the American League. In the American League.
No.
What are they hitting as a team? 230.
Since Aaron Judge last played a baseball game, where do the Yankees rank in batting average? I
don't know about that. I was saying
just
over the last.
Out there.
What I just said? I said 230, but that's not since Aaron Judge. I said 230 overall is what they're hitting.
27 rings, 27th place.
I'm gonna tweet it right now. Since Aaron Judge last played a baseball game, the Yankees rank dead last in the majors in batting. That's true. As a team, they rank 30th. They're hitting 218 as a team since Aaron Judge last played a baseball game.
It's tough.
That's not going to get it done. But Sean Casey to the rescue. Here he comes. Sean Casey, who I'm fucking mad at now. I'm mad at him because we went to dinner in Arizona, and I was asking him, how's the gig? How's the schedule? How many dates are you doing for MLB Network? You love the life. Yeah, this is great. I mean, he had to, at that point, you have to have some sort of.
No,
is that tampering?
not necessarily.
Is that tampering?
Not necessarily.
You don't think 2 weeks ago that the Yankees didn't have a conversation with him?
I don't. This kind of stuff can happen very quickly. Very quickly. It could be a matter of disgruntled employee, frustration boils over, something gets said, conversations had, we're parting ways, and we weren't even having this conversation 3 days ago. Well, that's a very realistic possibility. Just as much as, hey, you know what? Look, things are not going well. I think there's probably going to be a move coming at some point in time. If that's the situation, Case, let me get a feel for where you're at on maybe stepping in. Like, is this something you think you could do? Like, do you got a half worth of baseball in you? If we have to make a move or if we decide to switch something up, is this something you'd be interested in doing? You know, I've made the phone calls. I've asked the questions. I've gotten the okay from the powers that be. Are you interested? You know, there's multiple ways that can unfold. And I man, it's just crazy to think that it happens. I think it happened sort of abruptly.
I guess. I mean,
What do you mean you guessed? Did you hear anything about this outside of being informed that Sean Casey's now the New York Yankees hitting
Aren't
coach?
they boys?
I don't know. I just have a knock on my door.
Aren't Boone and Sean Casey boys?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So it's not that. I mean, it
And
might
that's
not
why
be
I said
that
that's
hard,
what-
right? Yeah.
No, well, no. I mean, what do you mean might not be that hard? The coaching aspect?
No,
or
no,
how it
no,
unfolded?
no. I wouldn't begin to understand what the coaching aspect. I'm saying that how this played out might not be that complicated, right?
Right. That which is yes, exactly. Which is why it can be as simple as both of those scenarios I just laid out. And my guess, I mean, it's legit coin flip on either one of those. But I don't know that it plays out another way. Is there another way that goes down? I mean, I feel like it either happens quickly, and I don't want to say you're a emergency fill-in, but that's kind of what you are. Is you're somebody who is available, has the credentials, and is willing to do this job and try to do this job under these set of circumstances. How many folks are out there and available and fit all of that criteria? Probably a shorter list than you might think of. There's a lot of folks who are probably willing to do that. Now, that's one thing. But someone that you have a relationship, someone that you trust, and someone that you feel like can connect, because even though it's a half season, you're not looking to set this next half of the season on fire and just rolling somebody up into that cage and hoping they can put the ball on the fucking tee for these guys. Like, you want to get work done here. So it's very, very possible that this happened either one of those ways.
This episode is sponsored by Knockaround Sunglasses, quality polarized affordable shades, including new MLB and U.S. women's soccer team pairs. Check them out at knockaround.com. Joe, you got your pair yet? Where are you at?
I got it.
Come on. Get them on, bro. There
Oh,
you
those
go.
are nice.
Bam!
Those are nice.
Woo!
Jake,
Looking fresh as hell.
when you listen to this, you son of a... Where are mine?
I don't think... I'll be honest, Alice.
He asked me
I don't
if
think-
I
I
wanted
don't
them.
think they make- But they don't make athletics sunglasses. So what team would you
That's
pick?
false.
They don't
That's
make
false.
They don't make them.
One of
I
their
don't think they make
flagship models is like green and gold. Is like tortoise pattern almost. Yeah, that's why I was like, whoa, Knockaround is rocking the green and gold. All in. Jake was like, yo, you want some specs from Knockaround? Said I would love some specs from Knockaround. Send those Knockarounds on over.
There you go.
Yeah, Jake's.
Do you have any takeaways from your time at Fenway, Dallas?
Do I have any take? You know what? I had two really cool things happen. I guess three
What's
really
that?
cool things happen. I'm sure we were going to talk about it, but watching Jay Hay watch his brother and his nephew just interact down on the ball field, watching Jay Hay's nephew get to put in second base, which, Jared, you made possible. I was able to get Jay Hay batting practice passes. Didn't know if we were going to be able to get him in there in a timely fashion so we could all hang out and shit. But it did work out, and you got him down on the field, or like on the field to put the base in. Watching Jay Hay just kind of sit back and enjoy that. I was up top watching all of you guys go down because I have a fucking job. I work for a living. That was nice to see happen. That was really cool. And then yesterday, I had a very cool moment. I saw this fan like sprinting from the outfield all the way around. Not outfield, like I guess, yeah, down left field line. And she got over to the dugout. She's like, hey, I just ditched my brother. I wanted to say hi. When she was kind of out of breath, and she came up. Huge baseball fan. Amanda, if you're listening to this, thank you, my friend. That was one of the coolest interactions I've had. But she stopped. She was like, yo, I've been a BID fan since day one. I was on starting 9 way back in the day with you guys. Like, I love it. She was like, I love the ramping up of the episodes, the 3 episodes a week. It's great. She's like, I'm a little behind. I'm on episode 1, blah, blah, blah. And she was like breaking the episodes down. And I just didn't even say anything. I just listened to her. I was like, fucking go on, girl. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It was fucking awesome. And, So that was just really cool. And she was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to do what you do. I want to do what you do, but I'm going to do that. And I was like, yeah, you goddamn right you are. Like, I just listened to everything you just said. I can literally physically feel you loving this game right in front of me. And our PR, the head of our PR department, Olivia, she caught some pictures of that. That was just a really cool moment. And then I had a guy who is a super fan. We call him Road Trip Mike. And he goes on every single road trip. Canada, Seattle, New York,
all of them?
Florida. Every one of these motherfucking road trips, buddy. This is what his
That's
retirement
crazy.
This is what his retirement is dedicated to. All of these funds just go to fucking buying tickets, hotel rooms, and plane tickets, buddy. That's it. And like he was talking about Fenway, he was asking me before we go, like, Dallas, what do I got to do there when I get to the ballpark? What do I got to do? And I said, number one, what you got to do, Mikey, is you got to set up a tour, because the folks at Fenway do a phenomenal job of making Fenway as open and as available and as entertaining to the fans who want to see it and feel it as I have ever witnessed when it comes to folks at the ballpark responsible for giving you, a fan, an experience. They fucking crush it. They crushed it 15 years ago when my grandmother went out there by herself doing a ballpark tour. So much so that the old lady stayed an extra fucking day and did the tour again by herself because she had so much fun. So Mikey does the tour, and he's like looking at the monster and he starts getting emotional, right? Looking at it. And I'm watching him, and I'm like, all right, I know what I got to do now. And so I texted him and told him, I need you to get to the field early on Sunday. I got something for you. And my man Alex, who, again, working the scoreboard for the Red Sox, said, I'll meet you there, get him in there early, and we'll hook him up. And so I got down to the field, told Mikey, hey, duck your little ass underneath this rope, my man. We're going out to left field. And he, like, was afraid to go under the rope, like, couldn't fucking breathe. Thought I was going to have to, like, defibrillate him right there on the field. And we get out there, and Alex comes popping out, and the young lady who works the scoreboard, she came popping out, and she's got all the numbers for the, the opposing pitchers for the out-of-town scoreboard. She's got them all set up, and they were, kind of giving him shit. They're like, all right, hey, Mikey, this tour ain't going to be free, pal. You got to go to work. So we're going to pop this ladder up. You got to put all these numbers in, all right? He's like, what? You want me to touch the numbers? You want me to touch the numbers? And they're like, yeah, put it. So he put all the numbers up. He got to go in the monster. He got to sign it. He actually purchased the out-of-town team title placard. So Oakland, OAK, when this thing is all said and done, that's going home with him. So he took that one home. He bought it. But watching his face light up when he went inside the monster and was looking at the signatures, and like he was talking about, he's like, Manny, you know how many times Manny peed back here? And I was like, yeah, quite a few, man. Quite a few. But just watching a fan soak that up for the first time. So I just, a tip of the cap to all of the folks who work in and around the ballpark at Fenway. You guys absolutely nailed it once again. I have bore witness to it many times, but it is it is worth repeating and worth acknowledging when I watch people go above and beyond what they have to do as far as work or job title might go. Every man, woman, child, and I say child because I feel like there was a fucking 13-year-old working the register at the dining hall. We don't have to talk about that. I'm sure there's a loophole or whatever. But Jesus Christ, everybody there, fucking awesome, man. Just an incredible job by everybody at Fenway.
Yeah, we're the best.
No, you were not you were not involved in that. Everybody else outside of you, everybody that has a job there, that works there.
Literally best ballpark in the world. Best ballpark in the world. Best people in the world.
Zach Campbell was
obviously.
there. You guys ducked him.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see
scared?
that until after I
scared,
left,
buddy?
though.
Talk a
scared,
big
Dallas?
game. No, I mean all three of you, because you could talk.
Oh,
A big game.
three? Yeah.
I'll talk a big game on the podcast. Real life, nowhere to be found.
I mean,
I didn't see
I would
him.
I would
I would
see
say
it.
that.
I see it a much different way. If he was there the night that I was there, I was on the field, very visible. After all the trash we've talked, and he didn't come.
He didn't want none.
I didn't
want,
see.
you know what?
I didn't
I'll
see
call
his
my
ass
man.
hiding in the outfield.
Yeah, I'm gonna call my man Aaron. The one. Did I say Alex? Was I saying Alex the first time? Aaron. It's Aaron.
You said Alex multiple times, yeah.
Okay, I meant Aaron. Aaron, I apologize, Aaron. Aaron is the fella who's rocking the scoreboard. So maybe I'll just call Aaron and have him get Zach Hampel some tickets to the Monster, and then hey, maybe it's Jay Hay and Zach Hampel, 30 seconds in the Monster. Let's see who comes crawling out of it.
There is no bathroom back there, by the way.
There is no bathroom.
So is the person who
No,
crawls out
like
the
they
person who
just
has
are-
to go to the bathroom first, or is it the person who wins the fight? What
The person who
Oh.
wins the fucking
okay.
fight.
All right.
Hmm.
I'd probably lose either one.
That is
but-
one of the funnier stipulations of steel cage matches. Is like you beat the shit
Can't
out
go
of
to
each
the
other,
bathroom.
and you have to climb. Well, you have to climb the steel cage and hop over and then hop down. But you can just open the door and go out.
I would consider a
that's
charity
part of it.
fight against Zach Campbell.
Hey, he's rich.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's-
if we
Let's-
raised enough money, sure, fly under
Yes,
the
yes.
BID flag. Yeah, I'll consider
Yeah.
that. Sure.
What's enough money? I got 10 grand right now.
Wow. All for charity.
Just for
huh?
starters. Just
That's a
starting
great
it out.
start. I'll be honest. That's great.
Mm.
I'm
Starting it out.
My training juices are starting to flow with 10 grand. I think.
And Jared's matching that. Jared's going to match that.
Okay. There's 20.
All right, we'll
We're
we'll
doing
see
good.
how
We're off to a
we
great
are
start
off to
here.
a great start. We'll see kind of what the.
Yeah.
This is a great thing to fill the gap in the All-Star break. You know what I mean? People can kind of focus on this.
Yeah.
Can raise a lot of money.
Just every All-Star break, it becomes a new tradition. Jay Hay
Fights-
fights an enemy of
Yeah,
the podcast.
fight some
Every
random
year.
baseball personality. Yeah.
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 Only
That's what we should be doing. We should be putting on this kind of a sideshow outside, like a live event. Every All-Star
Well, that
game we're just going to
Wednesday.
travel to. Yeah, celebrity
It's that-
deathmatch.
The only stipulation
The-
is you
the
have to be
day
more
after the
famous than
All-Star
me. I'm
game-
not fighting anybody that's already not famous. Yeah.
with less
Yeah,
followers
that's
than you.
what, yeah.
Yeah.
Very low bar to clear, by the way. So plenty of candidates.
The day after the All-Star game is the only day of the year where there's no sporting events. So every day after the All-Star game, Jay Hay fights some baseball personality in a cage for charity.
I love that.
We look forward to it every year.
I love that.
See, this is how great ideas form. Just kind of organically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice little brainstorm. I don't think you can bet on that yet, but you can bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Baseball fans, you could be winning every inning with the hottest offers in the game. DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered from top of the first to the bottom of the ninth all season long. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 to score $150 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can take shot at a bigger payout with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Open the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place your parlay by combining 3 or more bets from the same game. Every additional leg gets you an extra boost, up to 100%. Step up to the plate right now with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app, sign up with the promo code Jared, Jared. New customers can bet just $5 to score $150 in bonus bets instantly, only on the DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code Jared. Jake's still in the hospital. He's battling. Jeremy stepping up to the plate, stepping in, saving the show. The show must go on, and Jake knows that. Jake knows that the show must go on. And last night, the draft went on. And Dallas, you drafted a couple of my guys.
We took Jack Wilson,
No.
shortstop.
Nope. His name is Jacob.
Excuse me. Or Jacob Wilson, sorry. His father's
Yep.
name is Jack.
Correct.
We did take his offspring.
Number 6 overall pick.
Out of Grand Canyon University.
Yep. Absolute
We
stud.
also, and when I say we, the Buccos
Uh-huh.
snagged Paul Skeens 101.
Yeah, you
Like
did.
that.
You also
Love
took
to
Miles
see that.
Naylor, the third Naylor
Miles
brother
Naylor.
the
What-
Oakland A's took. Yeah.
What they say is the best athlete of the three. I love how they say that. Whether there's any truth to that or not, I would love to watch that play out. But I love that that's something that they're kicking around. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
not a bad-
you absolutely had a nice little draft, pal.
Yeah, it was exciting. I was checking in and out on that because I was flying across country.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't
After
get to
getting your
keep
fucking
up,
ass whipped at Fenway.
up to. Well, it's not. I mean, it's just 3 games that didn't go our way. That's all. That's
Mhm.
you call it a whipping, whatever. Like I said, I felt like it was 2 last place
weekend.
teams just hashing out the last part of the first half schedule. That's really all that was.
Red Sox are taking off right now. Not that I'm not gonna get excited about what the Red Sox are doing right now. I still have realistic expectations moving forward, but they are kind of still in the mix.
Yeah, I mean they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They're there. They're within shouting distance.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
within shouting distance. I mean, the American League,
Just-
there's not going to be much conversation.
No, definitely not about the A's. Joseph, how do you feel about the Atlanta Braves and how they did in the draft?
They did get one guy from Virginia Tech to the Hokies. His brother, Hackenberg, he played quarterback for Penn State. So,
Yeah.
He's got an athletic background, family repertoire is thick. I mean, the guy's going to be a beast. It's pretty much confirmed. But, yeah, in terms of the draft.
Were you guys surprised that Skeens went 1? I mean, it was supposed to be Cruz the whole time.
Supposed to be Dylan Cruz.
Yeah.
I think I am a little surprised. But what you're after is the possibility, or what you have is the possibility of having a true frontline guy, right? A true ace. 1, 2. You'd like 1. I mean, if he's a 101, you'd like to see Skeens develop into maybe who Garrett Cole is now. That's why the conversation was, oh, yeah, look, Garrett Cole again, 2.0. Are they going to be able to keep him? Are they going to be able to maximize him when they have him?
No.
Or is this going to be somebody that they pick and grow for somebody else to pay and take later?
I didn't want to tweet
Wow,
that,
cool
but I was
vibe
obviously
from the
thinking
pirate
it.
ship.
I know we-
Well, I mean,
so I was sitting there thinking, first of all, I'm surprised that Skeens goes 1 to Pittsburgh. And you want to get excited about it, right? Like, I'm trying to put myself in the position of a Pittsburgh Pirates fan when I see that news come across the board that Skeens number 1 overall to the Pittsburgh Pirates. But everyone's having the same thought. My first thought really is I want to let Pirates fans enjoy this moment. Like, I'm not immediately trying to shit all over Pirates fans, but your mind immediately goes to, all right, enjoy your 6 years of control before his prime years are enjoyed by a totally different fan.
But wouldn't that be your reaction to them taking any player at all?
yes. Yes.
No. Because I think with a pitcher, like, I'm thinking like his stud years are probably going to be after the 6 years of control. But if you have like a stud position player, like, I feel like when we think of prime years, it used to be, 27 through 32, and maybe that's still true for pitchers, but for position players, now we're seeing like the stud years being 23 to 27.
I didn't anticipate this being the case. I must be the optimist on this Pirates situation today, because I see it completely differently. I see it both specifically to Skeens and the outlook for the Pirates on this. Like, I think my understanding of Skeens, and having watched him in the College World Series, is that he is very big league ready for even a guy taken 1-1 in the draft. So, I think Keith Law called him the closest thing to, if you want a Justin Verlander, this is the guy that this gives you the chance to get that guy. And it sounds like he might start in Double-A next year and could be in the big leagues by 24. And that's not like a crazy projection.
No, not at all. Not at all is that a crazy
Okay.
projection. And I am even here to tell you that if things, for whatever reason, continued to shape up for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he was going to be able to make any sort of an impact right now, you could very well see Paul
Sure,
Skeens by the time September.
And now
rolls.
you've just gone too far, because the Pirates are dead in the water. But
No, I said
back
I
to
said
the
you
pot.
would need a lot of things to go
Right,
right.
right, but
you need a lot of things to go
But
right.
I'm turning the ship.
That's
I'm
a
turning the
big-
ship here again.
it's-
And yeah, but no, seriously, and to the other point about, if he's big league ready or close to right now, the Pirates will actually be in a position to get most of what could be some very, very good years. Whether they end up being his best years, who knows? But they could be some of his very best pitching years. And you add that into the fact that, I think there's legitimate excitement about the fact that they have a potential frontline pitcher and a franchise caliber backstop who's already reached the major leagues and was taken 1-1 himself. Like a pitcher-catcher 1-1 combo for 5, 6, maybe a decade. That's cool to me. That makes me excited if I'm a Buccos fan.
Absolutely. That's what
It's
the
like,
old
it's like a
baby
posy
birds.
mad bum.
Well, think about what the Orioles have done, right? With Grayson Rodriguez, Adley Rutschman, you've got a little combo.
Yeah, you just hope he doesn't,
Yeah,
suck like
but-
Grayson Rodriguez when he reaches the big leagues, right?
Sure.
Right.
Still time.
Yeah. I'm not ready.
No,
to
no,
pull
no.
the plug on Grayson Rodriguez yet, but it's been underwhelming to say the least.
No, but I mean, jokes aside, they probably added maybe the most game-changing talent in their entire system to their team last night. Henry Davis seems like
Well,
he
how
could
many
be an
times have I
all-star
s- how many
caliber
times
player,
have I
but
said-
Skeens seems like he
Yes.
could be like a Cy Young caliber pitcher. And
Just be honest with yourself right now. Right now. If Paul Skeens was drafted by any one of these other teams that is in a nice playoff spot per the playoff conversation, if he were drafted by any one of these other teams, you mean to tell me that you don't seriously entertain whether or not he can come up and have an impact for you right now? Right now. Not even a conversation? You're not even having that conversation?
It's been done. It happened with did Strider come up that year? I think Strider came up maybe not that same year, but the year after. It happened with Crochet. I feel like
it happened with Crochet. I played with a guy by the name of Joey Devine, if you remember that name,
I don't.
Joe.
I don't, but I know Ryan Zimmerman did it. I don't
Yeah,
think
Joey
they were
Devine
in
was-
contenders.
Joey Devine was drafted by the Atlanta Braves and then was in the big leagues later that
Tim
year.
Hudson trade,
Out
right?
of the College World Series.
There you go. Wow.
And I have, like, Jared just talked about trying to highlight those bulk years, those bulk prime years, and how you think it might be shifting for a pitcher. Well, the reason why it could be shifting is something I've been talking about forever.
HGH.
If you're going to curtail the usage of these guys and you're going to handle them with kit gloves, well, who's to say that all of the firepower and all of that sexy production that you're getting early, all the dominance at low A, why can't that be happening in double A? Why aren't you willing to see what that looks like in double A a little earlier so that we can see if there's a big league impact a little earlier? Well, I think that there's some real interest in figuring out if that's possible. You know, I mean, there's also hesitation. Think about where Jack Leiter's at right now. Right? 2 years ago, Jack Leiter, the conversation was, we'll see him in Texas in a year and a half. Like, he's ready, or he's close to being ready. I don't know that he's close to being ready.
No. I mean, the strikeouts are there for sure, but the walks and the hits are not where they need to be.
And so what happens when Paul Skeens comes in there, now his margin for error just a little greater because it's 100. And I don't need Paul Skeens to do this over the course of 6 innings. I need Paul Skeens to come in and do this over an inning, every 2 days, 3 days, down the stretch. That's a guy that can help. You bet your ass that's a guy that can help.
Who do we think made the best pick of the draft? Like, who do we think was the team where it's like, okay, like usually that's going to come after the first round. Like, a lot of those guys are slotted in where they're going to fall in. But I think I know which team I think I'm probably going to go with here.
What, the team that got the next Shohei?
Your boy
'Cause
Bryce Eldridge.
I mean,
Bryce Eldridge?
I only know one team that got out 2 players in one, and they did it. They did it 2 years in a row. That's kind of fascinating.
You
Bryce
think they
Eldridge.
got a hard on for two-way players.
I do. I can't speak for them, but yeah, he's my favorite player in the draft.
Because he's from where you grew up.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Friends.
Yeah. There you go.
Full disclosure, yes.
Yeah. The Cubs at 13 getting Matt Shaw, the shortstop out of Maryland. Loved that pick for them. Loved that pick for them. I talked about this on Name Redacted, but I'll double down here. When I went to Bourne for the Cape League, they were gushing about this kid. That he was the Cape League MVP last summer. Played for Bourne, who won the Cape League championship, and they were like, this guy is a baseball robot. He only cares about baseball. Doesn't have social media, doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he cares about winning. Like, a lot of the players, not a lot, but like, you'll get some players that come through the Cape League where they're just like, yeah, I'm here to showcase myself. Like, I'm here to impress scouts, and then it's on to Team USA or what have you, all these other teams that these kids play for and all the showcases that they do. The Cape League is just another notch on the bedpost for them. But Shaw just went out there and he was like, let's fucking win the whole thing. Like, he cares about winning, and absolute stud. Like, I love that pick for the Chicago Cubs.
Well, there was a lot of talk about the kid that went to the Phillies, the high school shortstops, because there was there was a shit ton of high school shortstops that they felt like were going to be targeted early, and that just was not the case. They didn't go until a little later, but Aiden Miller is the guy that I'm talking about. Dude absolutely raked in high school, won the home run derby, won the All-American game MVP, but broke his hamate bone. Shout out Mike Trout, and missed a ton of time. So you miss time in a pre-platform year or a platform year in high school, and I think that can shy some talent evaluators. But ultimately, the conversation is that the Phillies got themselves a good one all the way at 27 with Aiden Miller.
Yeah, it was a fun draft. I enjoyed it, and like I said the other day, I was far more looking forward to the draft than I was the All-Star game itself. I think the draft lived up to the hype. I saw a lot of people were super into it. I think baseball fandom is kind of trending that way, where like the old saying or the line of thinking was the MLB draft will never be as popular as the NFL draft because, you know, these guys get drafted and then you won't see them for 6 years. And partly some of that is true, right? Like we're not going to see some of these best players in the big leagues for a few more years, whereas in the NFL draft, you take a quarterback in the first round and he's your starting quarterback the next year. That's just not going to happen in Major League Baseball. But despite the fact that you may not see some of these top picks for a couple of years, I think fans care more about the draft. Fans care more about amateur players. And now they're starting to care more about college baseball. And they're starting to get to know these high school players before they're not finding out who they are on draft night. Like that was how it was for a long time. But I think this year in particular, we're starting to see baseball fans who it's like, you know, like I saw last night, halfway through the draft, people were like, how is Kyle Teal still on the board? Like, the fact that people knew who he was, I was like, fuck yeah. Like, that's great. Like, the fact they know who he is.
The best sign of interest is people faking like they know anything, right? Because that's what the NFL draft is all.
Some of that.
No. I'm not talking about experts. I'm just talking about fans, and it's harmless. But like that's what the NFL,
I'm talking about fans too.
Yeah, that's what the NFL draft really boils down to. It's right. It's like how the fuck could you take an offensive lineman there when we really needed a wide? It's like nobody knows like almost anything, right? It's like you've watched this dude play like one game in college. You just found out about him. It's like, and that's fun. I hope there is more of that. I also think like this is a unique opportunity because, you know, for the first time ever, those the two LSU guys, teammates, went, not just specific LSU teammates, but teammates went 1-2 in the draft. And, like, there is some momentum that can be built here, and it's not fair to ask those two specifically to carry that. But as teammates who won the College World Series and then are both, particularly Skeens, reasonably close to the major leagues upon arrival, right? Or at least potentially so. Like, you could see a situation where, like, their stardom is kind of linked from college through – like their debut in the into the major leagues, and it would be cool if like that was a little bit more of a pipeline for like recognition and I guess like overall like awareness than it has been so far to this point.
And this is where I have thought about. Do you remember the conversation we had a couple weeks ago about having an organization's best instructors at their minor league facilities? Because of the climate-controlled environments when it comes to player progression, blah, 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 blah. So now is there any interest in getting these guys, your high-value picks, closer to the big leagues sooner based on their viability and their talent and your resources? Because do you want somebody squandering down in low A where you don't have all the tools that you'd like to have? If you do have those tools, let's say in Double A or in Triple A, what would benefit you as an organization? What would benefit the player the most? Is it starting them off in a place where it's really almost a setback based on their talent level and the resources available? It's almost like taking a top D1 guy who's in one of the premier conferences in the country and then sending him to a D2 to start his professional season. It's like, whoa, the talent maybe a little lighter, and based on my skill set, I should probably be somewhere else. And if you really are invested in me getting to this pinnacle, Well, then can't we go about this a little differently? Maybe we should ratchet this up a notch.
Yep. Anyways, it was a fun night. I had fun. Shout out to everyone that had their coverage. Also, I want to make sure that I get the YouTube channel correct because I met these kids out in Arizona.
Disarm?
For yes, yeah. So they just did, it's DSARM is the YouTube channel. They just dropped a documentary about Max Clark, and it's called Generational: The Story of MLB's Next Superstar. And it's only part 1 because I think part 2 they probably filmed last night, and they're probably going to do like the whole behind the scenes of his actual draft night. But it's already at like 105K views. But yeah, like that's like I don't think that we've ever had access into a draft prospect that goes that high, that has the personality. I mean, like a lot of these like draft guys, like they're kids, like they're 18 years old, like they're not going to have these vibrant personalities. They're not going to have the foresight to be like, let's do a whole documentary leading up to this day and put it out as content. But Max Clark granted that access, so it's a cool documentary. Check it out on YouTube.
Superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of shit that's going to get people actually watching the draft is like guys like that.
Right.
We're on Instagram, on YouTube. This guy's been on YouTube being filmed for the past like 2 years. Like I've known about him for 2 years just from like a YouTube algorithm, which is rare. I mean, what high school players do you actually know other than him and Drew Jones and those type of guys? Because they're all on the same team, and youth prospects, they had a sick channel. They were filming their, showcase tournaments and stuff. It was really, really good inside shit. Hopefully there's more of that.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
I think the league, MLB, can put these draftees on the main account or give them a platform in general as much as they want, and that's only going to do so much. I think Joey's spot on that. Like the real key to getting people to click on a specific draft, at least, is that some of these guys are established, kind of entities in a way before the draft starts, or before the draft process even begins.
I mean, yeah, that guy Max Clark's got more followers on Instagram than like 95% of major leaguers. Maybe not, like close to that.
I saw the graphic about that the other day where he's got like 300 and something thousand, and then it was comparing it to some of the other players in the league, and he has a larger following than a lot of active MLB, not just like new MLB guys, but like dudes that have been in the league for years, and he has a bigger following than them. I think that says more about the sport than it does about Max Clark, though. Like when you look at NBA players, it's like you'll have like the third dude on the bench has 2.8 million followers on Instagram. Like some of these players in Major League Baseball have like less than 100K, and you're like, is it really that impressive to have more than that guy?
And as an amateur, like college kid, high school kid, whatever, you're probably surrounded by more guys that are willing to pump your tires than when you get to pro ball. Because when you get to pro ball, you got to be careful of guys that are willing to slash your tires as opposed to pump your tires. Very different scenario. Like share the tweet, probably not, dog. Like your tweet, not happening, dog. You want me to retweet your shit? Probably not, dog. But if you're my college buddy who is a fucking finance major and is not too worried at all about whether or not my video of me dropping dick in the cage or on the field takes precedent over you at the party, right? No, you're fucking retweeting, liking, quote tweeting, showing your friends that we're homies. Very different vibe.
Who has the most followers on the A's?
No idea.
Dallas, definitely.
No idea.
Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, for
Dallas
sure,
count?
Dallas. I mean, I count.
I would think it would, honestly, I have no idea, and I would just think it would be Trevor May because Trevor May does YouTube shit.
Yeah. He puts himself out there. Mm-hmm. Good for Trevor May. I think he's.
Without even looking, I'm going to guarantee it's Trevor May.
What sort
Makes
of guarantee
sense.
are you interested?
You
Or are
play
you
them.
issuing there exactly?
I'm just that I'm that right.
Just
There's nothing-
just a generic guarantee, not any sort of specific
there's
type of guarantee.
Nothing in it for you. There's nothing in it. It could be a Bob guarantee.
That's what I was getting.
It's a pretty confident pick. Pretty bold.
Yeah. Yeah, I will
Damn.
Bob guarantee that shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Bob guarantee. That's actually taken off. That's one of our stronger bits this year is the Bob guarantee. People are loving it.
What else we got?
We gotta suck down some Blue Moons, Dallas. I know you drank literally all my Blue Moons in my house.
I did.
You feel bad about that, or
Not at all. They tasted good. They were cold.
not at all?
They were great. Just what I needed after I choked down that hockey puck of a hamburger. It was food.
Bro, you're gonna shit on the 99 right now?
Is that where it was from?
Yeah. Jay, hey, tell me that you're a 99 guy.
The restaurant?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Jay, go ahead and finish your thought, pal.
I know it's a restaurant.
Yep.
It is a restaurant. All right. So he's not
for-
qualified.
It's where Jared's been going for his birthdays ever since he was 7 years old. Hey, Blob, All Stars again. How are we going to 99? Tell him to get the Tinders ready. Can I get the big chalky this time? The big chalky milk?
The big chalky. Dallas was really out here like, oh, can I have a strawberry lemonade? I like strawberry lemonade. Can I get a strawberry lemonade?
Came with the
You
meal.
have no
dude.
place to talk.
Came with the meal.
No.
It
No, it
came with
didn't.
the meal.
I wish a Blue Moon came with the meal because I'm all out. Thanks to Dallas Braden making a pit stop at my house because beer is a tried and true tradition, but Blue Moon is the only beer brewed by baseball. Blue Moon was born in a ballpark, first brewed at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Make it your one-of-a-kind baseball tradition, whether you're at the park or watching from home. Like I said, the second I get back from Seattle, it's to the liquor store I go because Dallas consumed all my Blue Moons and my fridge feels naked without them. I feel like ever since I moved into that house, I've at least had some sort of Blue Moon stocked up in there. Right now, I'm on E. So Blue Moon, if you're listening, help a guy out with its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander. Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon was brewed by baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that's one-of-a-kind? Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience perfect for spring weather. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful bright color. A beer this good only comes around once in a Blue Moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Keep baseball traditions alive with Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's a one-of-a-kind every time. Check out shop.bluemoonbrewingcompany.com for baseball merch and visit get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket to find Blue Moon delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. Blue Moon, made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale. Tonight is the Home Run Derby. Tonight's the Home Run Derby. I feel like the Home Run Derby is the event of the All-Star break. That's not a hot take. That's a universally accepted take. I don't know, Joe. I feel like you're one of those weirdos that likes the All-Star game more than the Home Run Derby. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. I'm weird.
It is true.
Fuck you, dude.
The Home Run
No, I like
Derby's
the Home Run
tonight.
Derby more. I mean,
Yeah, how do you not?
All right.
yeah, everyone likes Home Run Derby. Home Run Derby is
I don't know, I
the place
mean-
to be. It's the what is the word? What is the word?
It's the party of the summer, bro.
It's the party of the summer, man. And it's like
It's the party of the summer.
All-Star game is like the after party of the summer.
Yeah, that's like the come down from the Home Run Derby. Tonight, we've got 8 participants. The heavy favorite, the champ, Pete Alonso. He's not the 1 seed. I think it goes by how many home runs. Is that how they're doing it still? It's
It
how
has
many
to
home
be.
runs come into the...
It has to be because I do not like that. That first round matchup, I don't like that.
Dude,
I don't. There's a particular matchup that's going to be very hard to pick between. But you are going to have Pete Alonso as the number 2 seed. The number 1 seed, Luis Robert. The number 2 seed, Pete Alonso, is the heavy favorite. The number 3 seed, Marcus Lynn Betts. The number 4 seed, Adolis Garcia. The number 5 seed, Randy Arozarena. The number 6 seed, Vladdy Wagon Jr. Then you have the number 7 seed, the hometown kid, Julio Rodriguez. And then the number 8 seed, well, that is Adley Rutschman. So the bracket goes as follows. Round 1, 1 versus 8. Luis Robert versus Adley Rutschman. Who do we like in that matchup?
I'm going Lou Bob.
Yeah, you have to go Lou Bob.
I'm going Lou Bob.
Jay Hay?
I mean, according to the DraftKings Sportsbook, Adley Rutschman has easily the worst odds of the 8 participants.
Easily.
So
Yeah, he's like plus $2,000.
plus
almost, right?
1,800. No one else is worse than plus 1,100. So I'm gonna go. Luis Robert as well.
Same.
Okay.
Lou Bob.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going Adley Rutschman.
Ooh.
Wow.
Because you know what? It reminds me. You know what it reminds me of? And it's not going to make any sense. I'm just going to say it. It reminds me of Albert Pujols last year. Doesn't it remind you of Albert Pujols? Don't you see a lot of Albert Pujols and Adley? Everyone's doubting him. What happens? Comes out, wins the first round.
Okay. I mean, it's a pick. I don't know that it's definitely a pick.
They gave Albert
No
the
one's
helium
telling you
balls.
it's not. Yeah.
Albert was huffing, man. He was huffing.
He was huffing. I'm gonna go Lou Bob here. I don't love that he's the 1 seed, but I mean I wanted him to be my dark horse.
Specifically in the first round matchups, he's the heaviest favorite. He's minus 220 to advance against Adley.
Okay. So there's value there. The next matchup, the number 4 seed versus the number 5 seed, that is Adolis Garcia versus Randy Arozarena.
I'm going Adolis Garcia.
Okay.
Me too.
Hey. Joey?
This one's tough for me, Megan. The Cuban Power going at it. But a Rosarena for me. A Rosarena.
Wow. I think that Adolis Garcia is going to be the Vladdy Jr. of this home run derby, the 2019 Vladdy Jr., where he's
a dude
no
who's
one's
really
talking
fun to
about
watch
him.
take BP sometimes.
Yeah,
He's
like
jacked.
no one's talking about Adolis Garcia. He doesn't have the name power, but he's got the power. He's got the power that matters in a night like tonight.
He's twitchy. He is twitchy, which is why I like him, because he is somebody who I don't see. I'm trying to find the balance between, because he is big, like he is muscular, he is strong, but he is fast twitch as well. So I want to believe that the fast twitch plays out, but he could also be a guy who could be susceptible to running out of gas, because he is strong. He's got big arms. Those fucking arms start to fill up with blood. Shit doesn't start to move as quickly. He's not as quick to the baseball. Yada yada yada. But I like him. I like Garcia.
It's like they got the two guys, and they're just like, we're just gonna put the twins against each other. Like him and Randy are like,
they're very similar.
Same vibe, bro. The Cubans going at it. I kind of wish they weren't facing each other, because I like both of them, and I think it's tough to pick, but I can't pick against Randy because Randy's clutch. Randy steps up in big games, and to me, I think this is a big game for him. And he got a new haircut I just saw. For this weekend specifically, and if that doesn't give you some confidence, I don't know.
Fresh lineup will do that.
Yeah, it truly will. I think I'm gonna Adolis Garcia might be my pick for the whole thing, just because I don't love picking the 1. Like Lou Bob shouldn't be the number 1, so that's why he would have been my pick. So I'm all right. I got Adolis Garcia over Randy Arozarena here. Next up, this is a tough matchup. Mookie Betts versus Vladdy Jr. This is a 3 versus a 6. I think you still have to go Vladdy here, just based on what we've seen. I don't care what kind of power season he's having. He is built for the home run derby. Got to go Vladdy.
Part of me wants to go Vladdy. The reason I think I want to go Mookie is because Mookie Betts
He's
just
a line
strikes.
drive hitter. I don't think he's.
But that's why, like, you don't need to hit the 450-foot homer every time.
No,
you just need to pop a
I've
few
seen
of
him
them
take batting
to buy
practice
yourself
a
some
million
extra
times.
time.
I would be
and then
shocked
you can get
if
right back
he
into
put
just
on a
grooving
show
that
in this.
bitch. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to try to get big and hit 7 450-foot homers. He just needs a couple of them. Buy himself a little extra
right.
time, and then he gets
don't
right back
take,
into
Don't
it.
take my input. I've only seen him take BP 6,000 times. Go ahead.
You don't know anything.
Okay.
Wait, you
All right,
got
wrong.
fucking tattoos? You know baseball? Clean it up.
Hey, we know it's different without the cage. Come on. The bubble. No bubble? You've never seen him without the bubble.
I mean, the guy's out there rolling 300s because he's like, I like the lane here. I like I see the wax there. Like, I know that I need to hit my spot here. Like, he's very calculated. So I feel like he'll get big when he needs to. Maybe clip 1 or 2 when he needs to. Buy himself a little extra time, a little extra tiempo, and then move on.
Joseph?
Vladdy, for sure, for me. I mean, we've only seen him once, and he dominated.
Yeah. Only an idiot would pick against Vladdy.
Who said I picked him? I said I
You
might
did.
want to.
All right, well, then make your fucking pick. Stop sitting on the fence.
I'm
Pull
going
that
Vladdy.
metal out your ass. Oh, you're going Vladdy.
That's a good pick. I like that. I like that pick.
That's a good pick. It's a good pick. Jay Hay?
Well, I'm not an idiot. Going Vlad.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, it's kind of destiny versus destiny, right? Like you get the man who's going for his 3rd home run derby crown to tie Ken Griffey Jr. versus the man who is the hometown hero here in Seattle. It's the 2 versus the 7. It's Pete Alonso versus Julio Rodriguez. That's tough. I just Julio performed well last year, but I mean, how do you pick against the polar bear? How do you pick against Pedro?
I don't. I roll with Pedro. I roll with Pedro because he's chasing history. Number one, he's been here. He's done this. He understands how he wants to go about it. So he's got a little routine already figured out. That matters too. Julio, I think, at times could probably be overwhelmed by trying to do everything all at once here at home in front of his hometown crowd. I don't want that to happen. I think it would be awesome if he just takes this entire derby by storm and from start to finish just leaves your jaw on the floor. But I just don't think that Pedro Alonso is going to roll over and let you take the opportunity to log number 3 and tie the kid out of his hands that easily. Just don't see it happening.
I'm actually surprised at how quickly you came to that conclusion, to be honest with you.
I gave
I
you
thought you
a
would have
reason
taken
why
more
right
time
there.
to think about it.
Nope.
No, it's fair. It's fair. I need some more time to think about it. Joey, what do you got for Pedro Alonso versus Julio Rodriguez?
Well, we saw it happen last year. J-Rod takes him down. Took him down last year.
Did they match up against each other last year?
Yep. And J-Rod smoked him 31-23. They're both. This is why I don't like them going first round. I guess because I don't know. I feel like these would be like the 2 top dogs.
It'd be a great matchup to get to the end. Yeah.
And these are 2 guys. P. Alonso tries harder than anyone ever in the home run derby. It's hilarious. Love it. But and J-Rod in front of the home crowd. And if we're doing juice ball theory, whose balls are they juicing? If they're going to juice anyone's balls. My prediction.
Probably J-Rod's.
Yes. So I'm taking that into account here. I think the juice ball puts him over the edge. Wins by 5.
Just 2 National League players in this entire thing.
Yeah. Jay, hey, who you got for Alonso versus J-Rod?
I do think the single best possible outcome for Major League Baseball in this home run derby would be if Julio Rodriguez won it and kind of elevated his star to another level a little bit, especially to compensate for the fact that his actual performance is down a little bit this year. Like Alonso is the closest thing we've seen, I think, to a professional home run derby hitter.
Yes.
Like there have been better home run derby hitters, but I just feel like his floor is so high in these events because of the comfort level, and I think just a lot of things about his swing and approach. I'm going to begrudgingly take Pete Alonso, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Pedro.
Well, I've gone back and forth on this many times. I can see both paths. I can see Alonso exacting revenge for getting knocked out by Julio. I think if this home run derby took place in any other city in the world, I think I would not hesitate to take Alonso, but because of where it's being held and the support that J-Rod's going to feel from that crowd, you get exhausted doing these things, and I think that the crowd will breathe life into J-Rod to help him once again knock off Pete Alonso, the champ.
Wow.
Keep an eye on the
Yeah.
balls. You get Dr.
Keep an eye
Meredith
on the
Wills down
balls.
there.
You have been swayed by the semen.
Yeah.
Jared's guzzling that semen energy out there in Seattle right now.
Who could blame him?
But yeah.
Jeremy, don't rub your eyebrows. Don't. That's it's just a slow Monday, Jerm. It's just a slow Monday. Jared, huge semen energy guzzler.
Yeah. It is what it is, right? Like when in Seattle, as they say. Is that not what they say?
It's what they say.
Yeah, that's why everyone goes
Okay.
to the original Starbucks, a secret ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Should we
an
pick?
off-menu
Should we
item?
pick winners? Should we pick winners?
Yeah, I'm picking Lubob. I'm rolling Lubob.
Okay. Lock it in. Dallas's home run derby pick, Luis Robert. Jay Hay, your pick for the home run
As
derby.
soon as he fucking wins that home run derby, I'm selling his card.
Yeah.
I'm going Garcia. I thought I was going to be on an island.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be on an
Wow.
island there, but I got none of these numbers matter. I don't think for a home run derby, but 90th or higher in average exit velocity, max exit velocity, and barrel rate, and he's got the exact same launch angle this season as Pete Alonso.
Well,
Okay.
speaking of islands, I will also pick a Cuban, but the different one. Randy Arozarena is for me, man. How crazy is
Wow,
that?
You have
There's
Randy
three-
winning the whole thing?
Yeah, dude, the guy's a beast, and he's clutch. And every time Randy Arozarena is on the biggest stage, WBC, World Series, playoffs, what happens? The guy goes to another level. We've seen it before. I think it happens again.
Wow. That is that's something.
Jared, who are you taking?
That's something that I've thought about a lot. It's something that I think is almost a no-brainer.
I don't think so. I don't think you feel that way.
I do feel that way.
I don't. I think you would have said the name if it was a no-brainer. You have tried to slowly talk yourself into this.
I'm not. It's all right. Yeah. Okay. I am talking myself into it because it's the correct. It's the correct pick. It's the correct
no, it's not.
pick.
No, it's not.
But I know it's. So my pick is going to be met with very little fanfare, but it is the correct pick. Tonight, Vladdy Jr. wins the home run derby. He's fifth in Major League Baseball in average exit velocity, which is higher than any participant in this home run derby. I know that he hasn't been Vladdy Jr. this season, but guess what? He's not facing wipeout sliders and fucking sweepers and demon two-seamers. This is just strictly BP. He's got the stamina for it, and he has the average exit velocity to do it. Vladdy Jr. will win the home run derby tonight.
We all have a different selection. I like that. I thoroughly enjoy that.
What did Joey say?
Arozarena.
Joey
Joey's
went
picking
Randy Arozarena?
Arozarena. Yeah, Jay Hay
Yeah.
went Garcia. I went Lubob. We got Cuba covered.
Yeah, Cuba's covered. Jeremy, you got a pick?
Yeah, let's go. I don't know. I can just see it, man. Adolis Garcia just hitting bombs. That's it.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Adolis Garcia, Randy Arozarena, Vladdy Jr., and Lou Bob. Wow. Spread out. Spread the fuck out. If you want to go to the home run derby tonight, and the best part about Game Time is that you can get last minute tickets. That's the best part about it. There's several different features that are awesome, but buying tickets to your favorite events, it shouldn't be stressful. Can we all agree on that? We can. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets, because, the home run derby is tonight, their best price guarantee. You can't stop stressing. And if you want to go to the All-Star game, they have tickets to that as well. You can't stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for all the fun that you'll have. I'll be at the home run derby tonight. Shout out to Game Time. We'll be up in there. and I'll get to see Vladdy Jr. take home the Home Run Derby crown. Very excited for that. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. The Game Time guarantee means that you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Get images of your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds. 2 taps and you're set. Tickets are sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code JARED, J-A-R-E-D, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem with promo code JARED for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Okay. Is there anything else? Do we want to talk about? We'll do some first half awards really quick before we get out of here.
Ooh. Sounds nice. I mean, I think the two MVPs are clear, right?
Shohei and Acuna. Any objections?
Ronnie and Shohei? No, 0.
Is that it?
Zero
objections.
When I was kind of looking around, I just let me throw this out.
Fair.
Over the last 15 days, there's been a few guys that have been swinging the bat very well. A couple of them we just talked about right now. But if you're thinking about where your team is in the standings and what kind of chance they might have, Cubs fans, I'm looking at you in that NL Central. Whether or not you think you have an actual shot, highly doubtful. But something to get excited about is Cody Bellinger over the last 15 days, 449 average, 481 OBP, 633 slug. That's good for an 114 OPS. Mookie Betts, 405, 526, 195 slug. That's a 1621 OPS, 7 homers, 7 doubles for Mookie over the last 2 weeks. And how about your man, Jared, friend of the pod, Nolan Arenado?
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks, 390, 447, 854 slug. That's 1301 OPS, 4 homers during that time. And then the first half American League MVP, Shohei Ohtani. Now, these are just offensive numbers. 341 average, 451 OBP, 951 slug, 1402 OPS, 7 homers, 2 triples for Showtime. That's right, 2 triples for the 3-sword samurai. And I didn't even get into his pitching prowess. So, where are you guys at on the American League Cy Young conversation?
I mean, it feels to me that both Cy Young conversations are completely wide open.
Yeah.
Like in a
wide open, or is there a clear-cut group for each, and then maybe some conversations surrounding?
I mean, I can see like 5 to 6, 7 people in each league that should at least have their names mentioned in both of those conversations. So like a dozen people, I think, are in the overall conversation, right? Like, so
for me, I think I've got in the American League side, Fromber, Eovaldi, McClanahan. Not in any particular order, just those are 3 top, and then
I mean that's
Gausman.
I was going to say I think Gausman and Garrett Cole are still in the conversation in general, and I don't think Ohtani should be.
Yeah.
I don't think Ohtani should be excluded either.
McClanahan.
Yeah, he said McClanahan. Yeah,
No, I
so
said
that's
McClanahan.
6 guys. If Valdez, Gausman, Cole, McClanahan, Eovaldi, Ohtani, in whatever order you want to put those people in. I mean, that's pretty wide. To me, that's wide open. And I think it's
you could even say Sonny Gray
for sure, absolutely.
and Dane Dunning. Fuck it.
Well,
I'm saying it.
Dane
you
Dunning.
could definitely say his name.
Fuck it. Fuck it. We're doing Dunning.
I mean, in the NL, it might be even more wide open. Honestly.
Well, that's where things get interesting.
Like who? I know who the
mention
favorite
Framber?
on. I know who the.
I said
Yeah.
Fromber.
I know who the favorite.
Did you hear that he said if he's not starting the All-Star game, he's not going?
Oh well,
He's not-
I believe they announced Garrett Cole was starting the game. So
Yep.
So he's not going, I guess.
yeah, like within the
Probably
last
not
10 or
going.
15 minutes that happened. So maybe Framber's not going.
Yeah.
Framber's
It's
out.
gonna be a lot of heartbroken kids not getting to see Framber Valdez.
I love that. I don't know why. Look,
I don't
mean,
hate it.
I
don't hate it.
I can appreciate it, I guess I should say. Where it's like, look, I know what it entails. I know what goes into that whole thing. So if I'm starting the game, sure, I'm in. I'm there. But if I'm not starting the game, I would much rather be on a beach somewhere doing nothing, hammering umbrella drinks, getting ready for the second half.
Yeah, he's got a compelling case to start. So I if he wants to be a little bitter about it, that's fine.
I think Dusty said that he wasn't like available and that they weren't going to risk it.
Well, maybe it's a smoke
if he
screen.
wasn't
for
saying about
Valdez
who else?
saying fuck it.
That's true. You gotta
Dusty's
have
like,
players back.
we'll phrase it a little differently.
Yeah, that's a player's manager. They don't make them like they used to, man.
But going back to the NL Cy Young, like I know who DK says is the favorite. They have 3 people whose odds are better than everybody else. But like, are we really that confident that Zach Gallen, Spencer Strider, and Clayton Kershaw are like head and shoulders above everybody else? Because Clayton Kershaw is currently on the IR, so I'm not confident about that at all.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and so then that enters Steele and I mean, dare I say this name right now? Blake
Yeah,
Snell?
sure.
And third in
Yeah,
ERA.
he's been pitching his fucking balls
And
off.
look,
Absolutely. How about this? How about the fucking Padres, Jared? The Padres. Their starters over the last 2 weeks, 2.14 ERA for the fucking dads. That's best. Best in baseball. We're best in the AL, excuse me.
Led by Blake Snell.
Exactly, led by Blake Snell. On the flip side of that, though, their bullpen, atrocious. 7.42 ERA over that same time frame. That is last. That is last in the league. That's not good. So great starting effort. However, they can't keep the ball in the yard. They can't quit cashing motherfuckers in. So that's going to have to change if the Padres are going to, try to ratchet that up and make noise.
Bro, since May 25th, Blake Snell has an ERA under 1.
It's
9
sick,
starts,
dude.
53 innings, 4 earned runs, an 0.68 ERA, 22 walks, 84
he's
strikeouts.
up to 4th in the NL in odds now. He's the best after those big 3.
And
Which
then I
it
think
did
you
not start off
No.
No, it did not. No, it did not. But then I think you have to start entertaining. You have to start entertaining Marcus Stroman, maybe Alex Cobb on the outside of that conversation, like maybe even outside down the street, but you can see him on the corner. You're like, who is that? Is that Alex Cobb?
I will
So, yeah,
buy
I
you an
think-
Alex Cobb jersey if he wins the Cy Young. I'm drawing the line before Alex Cobb. Yeah. But I do think we've gotten up to quite a few names here. And like Zach Wheeler is 8th in the NL in odds to win the NL Cy Young, and he has an ERA over 4 right now. Like that's how open I think this situation is. Like I wouldn't feel good about any one specific person's chances. Like I think Spencer Strider is the best bet because he's going to have like the eye-popping strikeout numbers, and he's already built a pretty decent case so far. But
Well, his K per 9 is going to shit.
oh,
on
it's so
everybody
much
else.
better than everybody else's. He's in his own class, really. Which
Is that 15
it's
yet?
14.2,
I was gonna say
4.3.
It's like 14 and a
14
half.
and change.
I mean, I think Gosman's the next highest. Oh no, Blake Snell I think is the next highest among the candidates with just over 12.
With what,
Yeah.
12? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
think
what
about
that's what makes this shit so hard to pick. I mean, because Strider's up, but Strider has a 3.44. He's like 14th in ERA
Yep.
in the National League.
Yeah.
So all
Yeah,
the
but
guys.
as you start to but as you start to chip away at that, Joe, that's where the dominance and the separation of the dominance between he and the next closest cats becomes eye popping. And now you can't just ignore that. You have to put more stock in that because it is such a discrepancy between him and the other guys. That's why like Gallen's a guy that, like as far as body of work, like overall body of work, and this is where I think Logan Webb starts to creep into the conversation too. Logan Webb's got almost 130 innings.
under the radar.
Zach Gallen has almost 120 innings, and both of those guys are flirting with an ERA right at 3. And Logan Webb, who's got the best ground ball rate in fucking baseball, him and Fromber actually. This is a guy who's got almost 10 Ks per night. I think he's sitting at like 9.5, somewhere around there. So that's where the conversation starts to, the bulk, what kind of workload, and then you can look at the peripherals and, start to see, ERA 3.
But each of these guys'
FIP,
candidates
2.
requires a level of nuance, right? Like you just went into it with one guy, like Zach Wheeler's case, who's 3rd in F4 right now, is that his xERA and his FIP are better than his ERA. So don't look at his ERA because he's been bad on balls and it's like, okay, well, how badly do I want to give the Cy Young Award to a guy with a 4.05 ERA? Like I just don't. I mean, I think maybe Valdez and Gallen might have the best cases like to this point in the season, but it's razor thin if that's the case.
Yeah.
I love both of these conversations, both the AL and the NL Cy Young. I love the fact that there are multiple options that you have to dive into. You can't just broad brush it.
Well, and to your
Well,
point about
let's-
sorry,
let's-
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, let's pick one right now. Like, who right now? Season ended today. Who would you pick? Because I don't even really know.
Like
who
if we
I
had
would
to
pick.
fill in the bubble today, just based on the work so far,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd go Framber Valdez and Zach Gallen.
I would probably also go Fromber, and I think I'm inclined to go Zach Gallen as well because it's a combination of the dominance. He's like splitting the difference between the Strider. He's a little better than Webb on the K per 9. He's keeping the ball in the yard, damn near better than anybody on this list outside of fucking Steele. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun. Can I say Mitch Keller's name? I was going to say it. I just wanted to say Mitch Keller's name to get it in there. I'm not picking Mitch Keller, but Mitch Keller is on the Pirates, and I just wanted to say his name when we were having a silent conversation. That's it. I'd probably go Gallen.
Dude, I don't. It's so hard to pick. I would probably, me personally, a guy like me, I'd say Marcus Stroman, just because the ERA, it's low. It's a 2.9, which is better than most of these people, and still has innings. Because I want to go Kershaw, who has the lowest ERA in the league, but he has 95 innings, which isn't enough for me early on. So I'm going Stroman. Congratulations.
Well, that's why I take Zach Gallen, who's delivered 20 plus more innings.
Okay, but dude, his ERA is not even that fire compared
I
to
mean,
my man
he's
Stroman.
fucking he's tickling a 3. Yeah, but
Hey.
Stroh's getting a lot of help from the defense, right? So when we start talking about individual awards and we have to identify dominance, the ground ball rate for Marcus Stroman really excites me. It tickles me at night, but it does not show me dominance because we all know that Stroh keeps the ball in the yard, keeps the ball down, but needs the guys behind him to play catch. Where when we start talking about assholes on the mound who are shoving it down the throat of their competitor, the 7.83 K per 9 is not moving you off of the Zach Wheeler 10 plus, Spencer Strider 14, Jesus Luzardo at north of 10.5, Blake Snell at 12. Like it's not even in the same conversation.
Yeah, I want to argue with you but no, I agree actually. Zach, if you're going Zach Gallen or Stroman,
I want
they
to
pretty
argue
much
with
have,
you, but you're making 20 good points.
they're pretty much the same ERA, and yeah, Gallen a little bit more innings.
I'd be
And,
kind
yeah,
of
more
tempted to
strikeouts
go
and everything.
Gosman in the American League too.
Yeah, it's there. He's there. I mean, he's there.
He is leading the American League in K per 9. He's got an ERA sitting at 3. The WHIP is 113. I know that like people hate the stat, but quality starts. I want to say he leads baseball. He's got more quality starts than anybody.
Why?
And-
Like, can you very quickly give me just an idea of why people would hate that?
Because
why
because
people would
if
not be.
Because if you go an entire season of 6 innings
Well, I know,
and
yeah,
3
6
earned
innings.
runs,
It's a
a
4.5. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I get
why.
it.
But I mean,
But-
like you're going out there and giving your team a chance to win. So he's tied with Marcus Stroman, Logan Webb, and George Kirby for the most quality starts in baseball. But he's got the innings. He's got 115 and 2/3 innings, which it puts him up there. He's eighth, and then wins above replacement. He is
Who? Gossman?
yeah.
I think Gossman leads the American League in wins above replacement on
Yep.
the mound.
by a pretty big margin, 0.8.
Yeah, Fromber's behind him. They're like 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not a slam dunk like we've been talking about, but I think I would give some strong consideration to Kevin Gosman in the American League. So, and then I mean Corbin Carroll has obviously got the Rookie of the Year on lock. I actually, you know what? I don't want to say it's on lock because Ellie De La Cruz might have something to say about that, but it is those
think
two guys are just in a different league.
Both leagues are wide open. Feels like for that.
For the Rookie of the Year?
Well, I mean, if we're saying Corbin Carroll is not a lock, then I know for sure that the AL is not a lock. I mean, I think there are lots of still very viable candidates. Like I know
well,
your
we're
boy.
considering it the first half.
Oh yeah,
Like the
if
first
it's
half,
just
Corbin Carroll is your Rookie of the Year
for sure.
but we're just saying that Ellie De La Cruz is talented enough to close the gap. in the
Yeah,
second
I'm
half.
sorry.
It'd be fucking
Yeah.
pretty hard, man.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, in the American
He's
League,
gonna play half
I,
the games.
I would still be going. I would still be going.
I would
Josh
too, but I just don't think
Yes,
it's over.
That's slam dunk.
Yeah, I just don't think that's over.
No,
Yoshida's still in the conversation. I don't want to close the door on Gunnar Henderson, who has had a really
Yoshida,
nice,
that son of
who has had a really
bitch.
nice push. Like Hunter Brown, by the numbers, is in the conversation as well. Like you got Senga in the NL too. Like it's not. I don't think it's just Carroll and Ellie De La Cruz. Probably is, but
Well, and Rays fans, they got a guy that they're screaming about right now as they're listening to
Okay.
this. What the fuck about Luke Raley?
Well, dude, they don't let him face whatever righties or lefties. Or he's like a platoon guy, which kind of screws him.
I mean, I think he'll have the numbers. He'll have the plate appearances.
But if he's gonna have like 200 less plate appearances than Josh Young,
Well, then, yeah, no, it's not even a starter for me.
eliminated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yoshida.
Josh
Can I
Young
just
right
take
now,
some
if
time
you-
to
What?
the Yoshida fucking fastball he hit the other day
Oh, is that
Goddamn.
over his nipples?
is fucking 96 up and out in the fucking right-handed batter's box, and he pounds it out to left field.
He's very
Motherfucker.
good. He's very good. People don't realize that. Very good player. Yeah.
Yeah, it
All the
seems
executives
mature
that made
for a
fun of the
rookie.
Red Sox are signing him. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got some
seems like
years
just
under
one of
his
those
belt there.
old souls, Joe.
Yeah.
You guys are so jealous. It's ridiculous. Just say you're jealous that you don't have Yoshida on your team.
We
I'm
don't really have
jealous.
space for him over here.
You guys could benefit from talking to somebody, I think. It sounds like you guys are going through it right now. Sounds like you guys could use some better help to talk about what's ailing you. Sometimes in life we're faced with tough choices, and the path forward isn't always clear. Whether you're dealing with decisions around career, relationships, or anything else, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate your life, so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything. The more you practice it, the easier that it gets. Dallas has been in therapy for quite some time now to deal with his anger from watching Oakland Athletics baseball, right, Dallas?
I have reached out for help from time to time.
Yeah, and you find it helpful?
I find it the most helpful.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to talk to someone, and it makes you feel a lot better. Talk about your problems, get it out. Sometimes all you need is that third party, that neutral voice. Sometimes you just need someone to listen. It's not even about the advice that they give. It's just, oh, man, I got to vent about this. I got to watch the Oakland A's get pounded by the Boston Red Sox all weekend. Masataka Yoshida, whack. Oh, a couple bullpen games for the Red Sox. That'll be an easy 2 out of 3. Swept. You got to talk about it. That's where BetterHelp steps up. If you're thinking about starting therapy, you better give it a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/baseball today to get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp.com/baseball to get 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. All right. You guys got anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay. Jay, hey, you got some nugs?
Yeah, I did a quick since we're at the All-Star break. I did a quick biggest gains and drops in terms of playoff odds from the start of the season until now. I don't think it's going to blow anybody's mind, but just to put some numbers on it, biggest gains: Orioles plus 65%, Marlins plus 50, D-backs plus 49, and the Rays plus 37. And the biggest drops: the Mets minus 62, Cardinals minus 61, Padres minus 53, and very sadly, the Angels minus 37. Womp womp.
Yikes.
Angels down to 11%
Yeah,
to
dude.
make the playoffs.
That's got to be my final thought. To see that, I mean, that's just been the saddest 2 weeks. I mean, this is more sad than last year, Angels. Like the 14 games in a row with the Mohawk, it was funny. You know, it was like, you know, we were having fun, you know, watching Joe Madden. And, you know, like, it was good times. Now it's just like, oh, my God.
It was
They went
good
out.
times watching
They went
them
out
get
so sad. And with the Mike Trout injury, and to really think, every single year we came in with a little bit of hope, and every year that hope got a little bit smaller. But a guy like me, optimistic, glass half full, I said maybe this will be the year. I don't think it is. The Angels look cooked.
Yeah, and then people get mad at us for saying it. I'm like, what do you want us to say? What do you want us to say? I mean, they have the worst record in the big leagues over the last 20 games?
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy how the conversation just it's an avalanche of molasses covered shit. So it means it just moves slowly downhill, but it's coming, and it's not going to stop. And it's not going to taste good even though it's covered in molasses, and it's coming right for your throat if you're an Angels fan. And it's that conversation about what the hell are we doing with Shohei Ohtani if we are not competing now? Why isn't he gone? Oh, because we're going to keep him? Hey, and that's why oh my God. Because it's eventually going to turn into What's that coming down the mountain? Oh, it's an avalanche. We got time. What's that coming down the mountain? Well, it looks like an avalanche. It's getting a little closer. And then all of a sudden it's, hey, why aren't you moving? What's going on? Well, we got stuck in this avalanche, and now we're just kind of waiting to see what happens, hoping for a lifeline, looking for a way out. It's fucking too late. Too late.
Yeah, they're not going to trade him. Like, let's just face the facts. They're gonna eat it. And they're going to say, we don't want people to make fun of us for the return that we get, so we're just going to let him walk. We're going to get nothing for him, and then we're going to say thank you when he leaves to somebody else.
The team that drafted 21 pitchers is going to be worried about what other people have to say.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like the point they're making, like, from Rosenthal. Like, they don't want to be known for the guys who traded the best player ever and get made fun of. It's like, bro, you guys have been getting made fun of for fucking 5 years now.
You begin hammered for wasting the prime of one of the greatest players the game has ever seen, possibly the greatest player the game has ever seen. And then when the greatest player the game will ever see showed up in your backyard, you're going to get hammered for him walking out of the fucking place too. There is no winning here. There is no winning here. You've wasted the prime of Mike Trout and now Showtime.
Do you give any percentage odds to the Angels actually trading Shohei, or do you think it's just a foregone conclusion that they're just going to eat it?
I mean, I think you guys are probably right that they won't. I can't. It's hard for me to believe that the chances are zero. Like, we're heading towards a situation where their playoff odds might hit zero or functionally zero by the time the trade deadline comes. And like, if you hold on to Shohei with 0% or 2% or 3% playoff odds and he walks, that is way funnier from like a ha-ha look at you perspective than not trading him, or I'm sorry, than trading him prior to him walking if your chances are that low. Like, I just don't – it's egg on the face in some ways either way because you failed to construct a title contender around, specifically Ohtani as well as Ohtani and Trout together. But, like, the worst case scenario – the ugliest outcome here is that they get nothing in a lost season, a season where they have no hope of winning, and he walks at the end of the year and they get basically nothing, and their farm system, like, if they get nothing for Shohei Ohtani, their farm system is not in a position where it's like, we have waves of talent coming that's going to – the next great Angels team is on the horizon. It's a below-average system. They need to cash this chip in to have any chance moving forward, and I would hate to be – Perry Minasian or whatever.
Minnesota, yeah. All these teams right now, Jay Hay, you have to understand. The Angels are the mother Impala with the baby Impala at the edge of the watering hole on the Serengeti. And you want to know who's behind them in the water? Crocodiles and hippos just waiting for fucking dinner. And you want to know who's on land waiting for those Impalas to make a decision on whether or not they're going to get in the water or try to make a run for it, is a bunch of starving fucking lions ready to rip that Impala's throat right out. And those Impalas are Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout and the Angels. So it's really, which way do you want to go? Do you want to just sit on this and wait for the hippos and gators to come and munch that ass? Or do you want to try to make a move and run right into the jaws of the line. What are you
we
gonna
need to
do?
be honest about where they're at. They are mathematically much closer to the Tigers, White Sox, Royals, and A's in terms of odds to make the postseason than they are to the Mariners, Red Sox, Guardians trio of teams. Like this, they're just not even that
Real
close.
contenders.
No, and those are fringe. Yeah, those are fringe teams that I just named. That Guardians, Red
At
Sox,
best.
Mariners list. Like those aren't like the postseason locks. Those are the teams that are fighting on the fringes to get into the conversation. Boston's given a 3 in 10 chance of making the playoffs, and the Angels are like way, way back of that. It's just like
Yeah, if you're like 8.5 out, I give you a chance. I think any more than 8.5, probably not in that.
also like again, it's not like this roster is the Padres or even the Mets really either, where like you can look at your playoff odds and be like, well, they're not very good right now, but here are the reasons why they might be better moving forward. Like this team just has Ohtani, and it has talent deficit. We can argue over exactly how good everybody else on the roster is. I'm going to say most of them are not good, but there's not a lot of reason to look at the roster and be like, here comes the second half push because this guy's underperformed or that guy's underperformed or we have these stars that we hope coalesce a little bit better. It's just not a very good team, and they've probably had their best roster to this point, and they're already dead in the water.
Yeah, I mean they had the literally the best first half from any player of all time, and you're right. It's what's your
They have a
hope?
losing
right now?
record.
Yeah, what's the hope?
they have a
And half the
losing
team's injured. I mean that sucks.
Right.
half the team is injured.
And Mike Trout, like it was a little bit of it was 80% of what we're used to from Mike Trout, but they had him for the first half. They will not have him for the next, the previous week and a half plus, whatever it is, 6 weeks moving forward. It's just, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
grim.
It's very grim. Exceptionally grim.
Yeah. It'd be fascinating to see how it plays out. I wish it would be more fascinating in the sense that, where are they going to find a trade partner? What does that package look like? I don't think a trade comes to fruition. I think they just hang on to him. And in addition to that, saying, oh, it's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. Is this going to force Mike Trout to be like, get me the fuck out of here? No. I don't think that he'll feel that way. I think it'll be like, damn, Because now, and if you can't get Mike Trout to the playoffs when you had the fucking best baseball player of all time on your team, then once Shohei walks, which he will, you're just telling him, all right, well, there goes. Imagine, like, everyone wants to know, or some people want to know, like, when do I die and how do I die? And Mike Trout is being told, hey, you're, 31, 32 years old? You are never going to make the playoffs. You have a decade left of your career, and you can play it out knowing you're never going to make the playoffs. Like, this was it. This was your chance, and we didn't even come close. We didn't even make it interesting. Like, that's so depressing.
There's also some there's some poetry to the idea that, like, I remember when Artie Moreno signed Albert Pujols. The idea from like a broad standpoint was that the Angels were going to take Los Angeles from the Dodgers. And I think it's safe to say that didn't happen and isn't going to happen. But like there would be something very painful if they actually do put Ohtani out onto the market and the Dodgers are the clear-cut best offer out there. Because I wonder if they have the stomach to deal. I think the idea of like we're not going to trade in our division or we're not going to trade in our league or we're not going to trade like to our rival. I think that stuff is mostly almost always overblown and garbage. You should take the best offer. But it would be very difficult to stomach, I think, if you're the Angels ownership / GM to trade Shohei Ohtani to the Dodgers, who you've essentially been playing little brother to for the entirety of your existence. And your franchise legend is going to go play for them and maybe sign there. There's a lot of ways it could go, I guess, but that's been the one team that's been most consistently linked to Ohtani in any sort of trade or free agency conversation. Could be a tough decision for the Angels. Or maybe they'll just fall asleep and
depressing way
wake
to end
up
the
on
show.
August 5th or whatever it is and be like, well, that's what it was. He's still on the team. Didn't have to make any hard choices.
I think it says a lot that we're not even leaving the door open for the Angels turning it around in July before the trade deadline.
But look,
We're
go
just
back to what I was
well,
saying.
They're probably it's going to get worse.
Look at the roster. It is not good.
I
There
know, I
aren't
agree
any good
with
players
you.
on it.
I agree with you.
Like even Mickey Moniak,
I completely agree with
I
you.
caught some flack about like, oh, you said isn't he good? Maybe. Do we think he's going to play better than he did so far for the remainder of the season? I think almost certainly not. So that's another guy where it's like you've already probably gotten his best 3 months of the season, and you're right here. It's more likely that Mickey Moniak goes back to performing how he performed prior to this season, in my opinion, than it is that he gives you another half of 950 OPS baseball. Trade Shohei.
Free the three-sword samurai.
I
Free
got a report.
Shohei.
I had someone in my DMs confirm the three-sword samurai rumor. I won't go into detail how he discovered it, but I heard confirmation.
Okay. Good to know. That's breaking news.
Yeah. So brighten up. I know we're down on the Angels, but that's good news for the podcast and everybody surrounded. We can be confident that that's
Sword
the case.
Samurai holds up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That puts a wrap on the first half of the season. Home Run Derby tonight. All-Star game tomorrow. We'll be back on Wednesday to talk about the All-Star game and start looking forward to the second half of the season. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Wow!